Hello everybody, you're joining me on a lovely rainy spring day, and I've brought my truck into the shop here because we're going to be doing a couple of things to it today. We are going to be removing the pipe rack on the top of this. I should probably stop talking and we'll get to it. All right, so the first thing we got to do is we got to remove the toolbox, just 4 bolts, and it'll come right up. This bolt back here, of course, the impact cannot reach, so got to do it the old-fashioned way. Turns out I'm actually an idiot and my socket set actually has a swivel extension, so isn't that nice? Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hey bud, how are you going to lift that really heavy toolbox out of the truck by yourself? Well, I'll tell you. With that bad boy right there. By the way, here's a fun little good prank you can pull on the new guy when he comes to the shop. Whenever he needs to go lift something for the first time, tell him that this hook right here has to be nice and tight before he can safely lift anything. And tell him he should just twist it and in a few turns it'll tighten up. You'll have lots of fun and nobody will get hurt. I'm beginning to question my own sanity. How the hell did they get this thing in the rack? You can't turn the toolbox, it's too long, and you can't lift it up because the bars interfere. I'm doing something wrong, obviously, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and that's the problem. Okay, so I've had to go back to the drawing board here. I've determined that there's just no room. I tried flipping the toolbox up that way, it hits this. What I think I'm gonna have to do is I have to remove the entire lid here. I don't see another way around it. I mean, it'll give me, 3 inches of more room to get the box out. Looks like I can just take it out with an impact driver. So it should be pretty simple. I'm gonna grab my impact driver and we're gonna get this stupid door off. All right, that took way longer than I wanted it to, but got the lid off, and now I'm gonna try to lift the box up. If this doesn't work, I'm just gonna go home. But I'm pretty sure this is gonna work, so I'm gonna get the straps back on it and we're gonna lift it back up. Whew! That was exciting. Holy. That was utterly terrible, but we got the box all free, so now I'm gonna lift it up and get it the hell out of here. All right, so hopefully the hard part is done, and now all I have to do is unbolt the rack from the truck bed. There's only 4 bolts holding it in, which is a little bit scary, and I'm going to attach straps here, here, and 2 on the back there. It should just come right off, but first obviously I got to undo the bolts. Sorry about the air compressor running in the background. This fastener didn't even have a bolt on the bottom of it, so that's nice. Got all the straps and hooks mounted on. All I gotta do is pull it up and lift it tight. My goal, of course, is to not destroy the back glass or dent the roof. So, I mean, I prefer a dented roof over a smashed up glass, but I'd like to avoid both. So we're gonna go nice and slow and make sure we're being careful. The rack is completely airborne, and now I'm going to set it down and pick it up with a forklift and move it out into the yard. Good morning, everybody. It is the next day. You can tell because I'm wearing a hat from a different heavy equipment rental company, and the crows are making a whole bunch of noise. I did want to show you that I sprayed the bed out a little bit and cleaned it up a little bit. Didn't do the best job because it's a work truck. And then I realized I never pressed record on the camera. Too bad, but you're just gonna have to imagine that I cleaned out the bed a little bit. Before we put the toolbox back in, there's actually something that I need to do with the back window. So let me readjust the camera and I'll show you what I'm talking about. The problem that I have is this section of window right here leaks when it rains, and it leaks incredibly bad. In fact, it leaks so bad that it gets the floor wet on the entire driver's side, and the entire driver's side floor mat and all the way around the seat is totally soaking wet. What I plan to do is I plan to reseal the window. What I could do is I could call a company like Safelite. They would come out and take the old glass off, reseal it, and put it back on. However, there's a problem with that. That costs money, lots of money, probably more than this piece of crap truck is actually worth. So what I'm going to be doing instead is I got some BBC from the hardware store, and I'm going to fill my crack with it, and hopefully I won't leak anymore. Okay, got the truck back inside. It's all sealed up. Looks like garbage, but that's okay. Next thing we gotta do is we gotta put the toolbox back in, and then we're pretty much done. Woo! Wanted to walk there a little bit. Some of you have probably noticed what I just did. These straps are loops. So I now can't get the straps out because then I'd have to lift the box up. Oh boy. All right, he got the toolbox in, and I gotta say, this truck looks so much better without the pipe rack on it. I mean, just look at this. It just looks better. Everything about it looks better, so. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.